So we seem to be heading into a stately home. So we're leaving our little scout hall. What a lovely stop. Hard to explain. I haven't got my sound on, so hopefully the camera will pick this up. A lovely experience. We were invited into the scout hut, and then Pippa, the lady
the tour is 160 meters
who lived just opposite the field, came and invited us in for a warm shower. It's so sweet. It turns out, apparently, forgive me my ignorance, but Pippa's quite a famous actress. How pretty is this little lane? Should have my sunglasses on. You have a look behind, you'll see the shower's behind me. No, I bet it does. Don't say it, don't say it. Michelle just said, I don't think this lane sees much traffic. Pretty little country lane. We are heading towards the historic market town of Frome, named, I'm not sure if the river Frome is named after Frome or vice versa. I should know, for reasons that will become apparent over time. But I think we're just about to see a tractor pulling out. That is okay. It's just crossed over the lane, field to field. Let's say this is a road that sees probably very little else. The odd car and mainly tractors. This wouldn't even be a nice cut through for a lot of locals because it is so narrow. So much life in the hedgerows. How are you feeling this morning, Michelle? A little cool?
A bit of a cool, and my legs were a bit achy. I think they weren't warmed up.
Right.
So they really ache for the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay now. Yeah, I'm thinking I should have kept my jacket on.
I think we'll be warm soon enough. But be careful of this blind bend on this busy road.
Flies are a bit of a pest.
Yeah, I should have probably brought our sunglasses. Okay, we're coming to a larger road. So I'm probably going to pay attention to the map. Looks to me
now turn left.
as if we turn left. Unsuitable for HGVs. Look at that beautiful oak tree. So we definitely have selected some very pretty smaller roads and keeping ourselves off wherever possible the major roads, so I'm quite happy. But I think as we get towards the city of Bath, we're going to be hit by some pretty big hills. It's in a valley and very steep sides to the valley, so unless there's some way we can navigate through it along the canals and rivers, we're going to be in for some proper hill riding. Well, it hasn't been raining, but this little road is almost a river. How interesting. Must be a wellhead.
Might be delayed.
It might be. Must be a spring at the top. Such a heavy flow of water. Source of the river Frome, maybe? Certainly an estuary that will run down to the Frome. It's middle of summer and it hasn't rained for a week at least. So you'd have to wonder. I mean, it could be a burst water main. Seems to be coming out of that drain cover. So I'm just overtaking Michelle So that demonstrates that even if I cycle on my lowest gear, it's no faster than walking. But for me, I find the cycling a little easier. Michelle finds the walking. So it's never warmed up this morning. Michelle kind of wishes she had a jacket on. I do too, but when you trap the heat in, it can be a little too warm. Looks like we're going to go under a big main road. I think just maybe a dual carriageway. But yeah, it's bitterly cold around my ears and body, but the alternative is being a little bit too toasty and sweaty. So we'll go with this. Seems to be wanting us to go through there. Think so. So, yeah, we're heading through shops, restaurants, car parks and exits. Stump of that tree. Good day. It's a tree and a half, isn't it? That has to be a good 10 feet across. This one as well. Are they horse chestnut? Not sure. I don't recognise the tree. They're beauties. Wow. Straight on, I think. We could have stopped here. Okay. G'day. Large bag. G'day. Oh. Look at that for an outlook. It's pretty, isn't it?
Need the toilet.
No, do you?
No, just checking.
So there's little areas that are marked private, but this is clearly access all areas. As far as I can see, we're going to follow that chap with his dogs. Is that one a little skittish? Is that one, that's a pup, is it? She's learning. Hello, sweetheart. Hello, sorry. Oh, she's away. Thank you. Okay. So we've really come off the beaten path. Now, okay, so we're just coming out of the estate now, I think. Yeah, it's a nice little detour through the estate and then onto this lane.
In 60 meters, go straight onto Staunton Lane.
I think we've got a little gateway, so time to dismount. And I think we'll take the big gate, Michelle. easier. She's caught.
Go straight.
I'm so, what's the word? Chivalrous.
Staunton Lane.
Maybe we'll do the little gate this time because it's got a spring on it. It's quite an ordeal, whichever way you go. Never will hold this for Michelle. This one should close, Michelle. Route 25, the National Cycle Network. Okay. Back on the route. Oh, I can get my leg over. We're pretty much in the summer solstice, the longest, hottest days. And it is bitter, bitter cold, like a winter's morning. Can't feel my ears. That's how cold it is. See what Michelle thinks. I am bitter cold, Michelle.
And it's beautiful ride apart from the wind, cold and horrible road.
But it's a horrible road, but it's also, the headwind is icy and strong. So lovely Frisian cattle back there in that field. We're about 4 miles, I think it said on the sign, to Frome. Our first sort of big town for a little while. Very pretty. So far we've stayed on these nice small lanes. There have been a few near misses with kind of vehicles that are try to intimidate you a little bit.
Next,
But
go straight.
generally people have been really observant and kind. It's been a good day's riding. Here's a car. I'm going to speed up a little bit to get past him because he's kindly pulled in. You see what I mean? There's some really good sorts. Thank you. So we reciprocate by putting a bit of pedal power in. I feel raindrops. That was a left, Michelle, I think, up the, yeah, I think up this little one. That was a horrible sound coming up the big main road. Almost as horrible as hearing Michelle turn to hill gears. Oh yes, it's a steep hill. So this ahead of us, this is Weymouth Road. Now Michelle and I should recognise this road. It will become apparent, but right now I do not. Though I think it extends. I think there's a park down here on the right, and then Weymouth Road crosses and goes. So why should we know Weymouth Road? Just here on the corner is a park. I am right, yes, so I know where we are. And this, oi! We just got quite a bump. Now we used to say this wasn't, I used to say it wasn't a hill, Michelle.
You did, and I always said it was.
So let's let there's a little park. Just down here on the right should be a house we know well. And that looks like it to me. Yep, the vicarage. Weymouth Road, Frome, was a home to Michelle and I and our children for a short time. Part of our travelling life that we had back in the day. We stopped here for a year or so, I think. Pretty little town. The market town of Frome, which I think dates back, I'm going to say about 700 AD. And also it was historically a market trading town. And in a later date, it was very much part of the wool making industry. So there was a yarn industry here that dates back quite a few hundred years. And sometime after the Industrial Revolution, when the wool and yarn started to move outside of England, it's become more a sort of hub of small businesses, little artisan producers. But yeah, it's not the market town it used to be. See, I used to say this wasn't a hill. It is quite a hill. I take it back, Michelle, it is quite a hill. But it isn't it. Well, when you compare to what we're coming up to, I'd say I'd justified not to call it much of a hill. Down here to the right is Frome famous Catherine Hill. A most beautiful little street that runs down to the main high street, but it's probably one of the most pretty, or used to be one of the most pretty streets in the region. Now I thought it was cobbled all the way up, but this town had so many cool, sort of funky little shops. And there was a sort of Dungeons and Dragons game shop run, if I'm not mistaken, by a gentleman called, I want to say Peter. Hung, drawn and quoted books, paint pictures and pictures. So we're not probably going to go all the way down Catherine Hill. It feels like a town that's a lot quieter than I remember it, but maybe it's always been this way. But it's pretty. It's a pretty little town.
Yeah, it's pretty.
We loved it.
Into it. We did love it.
This is a brakes only hill. Gotta watch we don't let our brakes wear out or overheat. This is very steep. So what we do is we pump the brakes, sort of hold them a moment, let them release. But this is such a steep hill, if I let it go, it's going to race away. The problem is, with the weight we've got on, you can't stop too quickly if anything pulls out, so we've got to go slow down these hills. There's nothing else we can do. I mean, on a lighter bike, I would whiz down here, but see, you come to a little crossroad, a car pulls out, as it is doing there. And we can't really come to a standing still in a short distance. So I see a cycle route marked up here. And we're going on to a modest sized road? I don't know. Sounds quiet. Quiet enough. Yeah, this'll do. I've got a feeling that'll pay back with an uphill.
Take the next left.
We'll see.
Now turn left.
Oh, pretty. Keep saying it. One of my most common things I say around here is how pretty. You know, lambs. Young sheep at this time of year, it's probably... Isn't that lambs though? Here comes the payback, Michelle. Okay, hill time. Ooh. It's payback. I don't think the camera will ever show how steep these hills are. Oh, my legs going to jelly.
Just stop there.
Stop for a moment. Yeah, I agree. Oh, this is so steep. Michelle said that's the worst bit. I hope so.
Follow this way for 100 meters.
I'm struggling. Oh, at least the sun's out. We're almost on the brow of the hill. I can't talk. I cannot talk. Just in here there's an old train track with tree roots and everything growing inside it. It's called the Collier's Way. You can just about pick the track out beside me, all grown over. Came in the shop to get some groceries and got caught in the rain. God, what a day. I think somebody's trying to tell us something.